out on the set, everybody, and go.
Hello everybody, welcome. It's Tuesday sewing and I've restocked the pick jar, so we'll have a look at that in a minute. I thought we'd just, I was just going to quickly show, I carried on from yesterday's video because I was having fun, so I made a few more bits, so I'll just quickly show you. I got these, I think there were some old magazine papers, and actually these are harder to do than if you just got a full sheet and folded it, because it was already folded. So, but anyway, that's plenty of writing space in there. That one we did, didn't we? That one we did, our birdie bag. That one, just it's got some plain card writing paper on the back. That one I've done. Love that bird. This one. This one. This one. And it's got a fold over with the paper. This is some really old paper, so I folded it back, which is actually ideas from Carol Laws. Instead of cutting it off always. This one. It's got a hidden beetle in there, so beware. Nearly Halloween. That one we did. That one we did. That one we did. That one. Just finished that off. This is a nice long one. Old bag that I wanted, so I've just glued that up, made a pocket there. And this one we did. So I finished the few bits that I've got left and used a few more. So that's great. Now then, Tuesday sewing. The pick jar is back. So I am pleased now. Oh, a bit of a difficult one last week. I started doing a lovely one, didn't I? In like a small, in a like a special thread. Oh, it all frizzed up. All frizzed up. I had to throw that out. Then I did this one, and we seemed to run out. No matter how long the ribbon was, it ran out. So anyway, I've done what I can with this one. I'm not entirely pleased. I might end up taking it off and do some others. So it's very, very difficult to do these with the silk ribbon, I found anyway. The sari silk, that seemed to grip round, but this, some of these ribbons are made to be stuffed. So they're very friable at the end. But anyway, I've put it on because by the time I've done some stitching around it and I've put the orange thread around it, not all flowers are perfect, are they? So I thought we'd leave that. So let's get going with our pick. We'll go and get the stuff we need and then we'll get cracking. So thank you so far, everybody that's given us the picks. I'm only going to do one a week. I was doing two, wasn't I, on the last stitching project, but I've not quite got enough, I don't think, for that. We'll see how we go. Right, I've got one there. Let's have a look what this is. Ha! Catherine, it would be one of mine, wouldn't it? I wanted some other people's ideas. Catherine, fancy edging. Right, okay. So some sort of fancy edging I want you to put on here. On your piece, shall I say. You're not all going to come and have a sew on here, are you? Be nice if you could. Okay, I don't think I want it down the middle because that would cut that in half. So I'll have to consider something. So as always, David will just insert a few of his photographs in here. And while I go and fetch some fancy edging. So yeah, I'll be right back. Right, and I'm back. I hope you enjoyed those photographs. Right, let's just do some nice deep relaxation just to get into sewing mode. Been rushing round here, there and everywhere, I bet, like me. And it's time now just to take some nice time for ourselves. Just sit down and we're going to have an hour or so doing some nice stitching, something that we enjoy. It's okay to find time for yourselves. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Just concentrate on your breathing. In and out. Put all your worries away. Put all the lists of things you've got to do away. Put it away in that filing cabinet. Not going to touch it for an hour. You're just going to concentrate in the here and now and relax and enjoy your sewing. Last deep breath in and out. Okay. So, as you know, Slow Stitch is all about well-being and being able to relax your mind and having a little bit of time for yourself. Not just about what stitch you do, it doesn't matter what stitch you do, it's about the whole concept of relaxing and clearing your mind of rubbish. Okay. Doesn't look very thrilling at the moment, but I hope it will be. This is just a bit of snippet roll and so fancy edging. And I thought that I'm not just going to stick that on there and sew. I've decided I'm going to mimic when I do the chenilling with the fabric. I'll link the video down below for those that haven't seen that, where I did the chenilling. Some people do it, call it a slashing. They'll say, oh, it's a bit like slashing. But the proper sort of embroidery term or whatever for this, with layers of fabric and cutting into it and roughing it up, is chenilling. And so I thought that I didn't want to totally not be able to see down there. So I thought we'd do a bit of that. So with this it's a bit more tricky, I think, because I've got to fold. Normally you've got your fabric that you can stitch into, but this is paper, so it's probably going to be a bit tougher to do. Will it probably end up in a big hole? But that's good, isn't it? That's good. We could do holes. We can mend holes, can't we? So just get your snippet roll, and that's a little diddy. So we're just going to cut some of this. Is tougher than others, isn't it? It depends what you put in your snippet roll as well. I mean, if you've got a fabric snippet roll to hand, great, you do it with that. In fact, now I've thought of doing it like this with the paper. I think this is going to be just going to cut that down a bit. It's going to be something to do for the edgings project. Now I've decided that we could do this paper chenilling. That's it. We don't want to get rid of too much. There we go. I'll just have a little one over here. Let's have a look how that looks. Yeah, and I think we'll have a bit here. Okay. Oh, I'm liking that. I am liking that. I'm just going to cut those edges off a bit more. There we go. Straighten that bottom off a bit. And we can still see, look, some of that stitching. Just do a little smidging off there. Okay, what we pin is pin that in place and move it up here a bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to now pin, I love that effect. Now I'm going to pin that in place. And put another one in there. Okay. What's that? That's just getting on my nerves. Let's get rid of that. Okay then. And then what will happen is that is the front and then that is the back. And obviously there's not, well, it depends what else we put on here, but there's not quite as much happening on that side. Right then, let's see what thread we would like to use with it. I've got all my needles out because I've got all these needles and I'm messing about with one little thing. These are mainly my couching threads, I think. I've got one or two pearly bits, which would be nice. And that's do I want a bit of blue mix, blue and grey mix? No, I think I'll have that one and that one. Yeah, we'll see about using them. I'll get my snippers out. Have a look at my needles. It's only just recently that I've started treating myself to some more expensive needles. Let's have a look if there's anything. These are nice. These are some needles I got from Japan because they, it's a bit blunt that one. They are very very highly milled, if that's the terminology they use there. They're too fine. They're very strongly made, beautiful quality, but they are sharp. I found. Big eye. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, we'll use that one. I'll remember to put it back in there so I know which one it is. Okay. But for many years I did all my embroidery with just ordinary, you know, standard, what they say, standard embroidery needles. So you don't necessarily have to buy anything fancy. I'm going to start with this mixed one here. Okay. So it's lovely and sunny again today. I think it was waiting for the fair to go, I think. Because the last Sunday was a right washout, so they packed up early and went, and oh, I don't want anybody to not have fun. The kids had a lovely week. It was on all week, but goodness me. I took Nelson for a walk and I can still hear it 3 streets away. So you can imagine, can't you? Imagine how loud it was. All right then. Oh, let's start at this end. And I'm just going to do you know, just ordinary to start with, because this snippet roll has already got some straight stitch, running stitch. I like, when I do my snippet rolls, I do like to put my needle size up to 3 or even higher in some projects, and it does give you a lovely effect. You know, that's part of it really, having a larger needle size. I'm just wearing my splint, my wrists, they're a lot better this week, but I'm thinking I'm just going to wear them as a precaution really, to stop it getting back. You know, when you're doing a lot of craft and stuff, you'll know, those of you that probably have you know, you can feel it in your wrists and your hands, don't you, when you've done quite a lot. So you want quite a sharp needle, because obviously we are going through quite a few thicknesses here. And I think this will make a lovely edging. This wasn't what I had in mind when I put that in the jar. It was something completely different that I'm going to do on Thursday for the edgings. And I was thinking about that, planning that, and I thought, oh, I'll put that in as a pig, not expecting it to come out before I've done the edgings. But I saw this on my trolley and I thought, yeah, well, we can use that. And I'm glad that you know, I've been able to get a little bit of the colour from the background coming through it. I mean, if you like, you can just put it on as an ordinary snippet, but I personally think this adds a bit something extra. I love sewing through paper and fabric. I think I heard Rachel say that the other day, and there's something nice about sewing through the two, hand sewing. So I think most people, unless you're brand new, have had a go at doing these snippet rolls with scraps of fabric or scraps of paper, or a mixture of both. I often like to do a mixture of both as well. Just got to mind your fingers with this, because these are very sharp. These sashi coat, very strong though and sturdy. I mean, you know, you can tell the difference in your needles, you know, if you can. I'm just buying a few as I can afford, a few different ones. That's why I thought I'd better start using them, because, you know, I'm hoarding needles even, which is ridiculous. What's the point in buying better quality and then using the same old rubbish things? Well, they're not rubbish, but they've had that much wear out of them now, you know. They start bending a bit. It takes some mighty strength for these to be bent. So very good for slow stitching, I think, doing paper and cloth together. Except when it's stuck. There's something quite soothing punching it through the paper. Perhaps that's strange. This is some Natalie Stewart yarn. It's gorgeous. I like to buy some special threads either from Steph Francis or Natalie Stewart. Natalie Stewart has a website also on it. She has a website and an Etsy shop, and she's the lady that I get the fabulous dyed Hessian and dyed cheesecloths from. Right, don't think I can eke any more out of that. Okay, liking that. Now then, shall we put a bit of this in? This, yeah, this is from Natalie as well. Oh, I'd already cut a length off there. And, ouch, I stabbed myself. There we go. It's lovely and fine, this one. It's very much like Sashiko thread that I used for when I did my Japanese journal. A lovely Japanese kit from Tracy Fox. Well, I don't want to knot this one. I can't do that fancy knot that they do. I'm rubbish at it, so there we go. Just do the knot I know. Right, okay, I'm going to carry on. Yes, I think I will. No, we don't need stitching on all of it, do we? I'm going to start again here. Let's turn it around so hopefully you can see it. So, we took Nelson to the vets yesterday. He's been itching his face and his jaw. Oh, it's been driving him crazy. But I was wondering if it was his teeth, his gums, because they seem very sore lately. And, oh, he has to have all sorts of extra special stuff in his food, you know, because he gets a lot of plaque. And apparently it's quite common in cockapoos, the vet said, because they make very acid saliva, and so they are quite prone to getting a lot of plaque on the teeth. So I'm going to clean it, and you know, he has this special seaweed that's supposed to be very good for, you know, maintaining dogs' dental health. Costs a fortune, you know. You spend more on your animals, don't you, than yourself. So we put him on some Piriton because, you know, in case it's an allergy thing, because his skin was looking very red just round his jaw. But then, after further investigation, the poor lad, bless him, has got some exposed nerve roots. So no wonder he's been having a good old rub at it, bless him. So he's got to go and have an operation. He's got to go and have that sorted out. So they said, we'll send you an estimate. Oh, crikey, we had to sit down. He is insured. You know, we have got pet insurance, but you know, I sometimes wonder why. Because I think there's only them that wins out of it. I mean, he's 7 years old. We've never claimed anything on it in 7 years. So if you work it out, we pay £25 a month, 12 months times 7. So whatever that comes to, it's a reasonable amount of money. And they will only pay for the first £250 worth of dental work, and that is minus the excess, so we have an excess of £65 on our account. They won't pay, so they'll pay for the anaesthetic and all the drugs and everything, the drip and everything like that, because he's got to have that, to have this investigation of this root canal. And if he can repair that, you know, that's all well and good. If not, he'll have to take that tooth out. So fair enough. The insurance, and obviously while he's under the anaesthetic, he's going to check all his other teeth and clean them, polish them. They won't pay for that bit. Surprisingly enough, when you check your policy, they will now pay for complementary medicine, complementary therapies, which I think is great, really. Aside from the fact that I'm not happy they're not paying for much for Nelson. But at our vets, it's quite forward thinking. And they have a pet therapist who does acupuncture. And especially for, you know, as your pets get older and they start getting aching joints and things like that. I think it's a fantastic thing to be offering. I think they should be offering things more like that for humans. And although in London, when my mum was in hospital, which I thought was really good, they did have a calm, you know, because it was palliative care. They did have complementary therapists came. They come round and they do reflexology on the feet and Reiki. You know, obviously they're not going to heal them at that stage, but it's very calming, is Reiki, very relaxing. And so they did, and I thought that, yeah, we're getting there. We're really getting there in you know, traditional medicine and complementary running side by side. So it should be. I mean, obviously with a medical background, you know, you should never give up on your medical treatment or what they're offering. But I've seen some fantastic results with, you know, with Reiki and things. So they'll give you the vets, back to my story with the vets, they'll give you £500 in any 1 year to help with that, which I thought was really good. But only £250 for dental work, excluding any cleaning. You know, which makes you feel like you don't look after your dog's teeth right, doesn't it? Which isn't the case, I mean. As most of you know, I bet your dogs are treated as well as the children. So, that's looking nice, isn't it? A bit of a flappy edge there that I'm going to just trim that bit off. There we go. So I want to try a bit more pattern down this end. It's looking really nice. So the bill, the estimate, is £600, and that's just for all the exploratory work on these exposed root canals. £600. I thought it'd be about a couple of hundred. I thought, well, you know, he's got to have an anaesthetic, blah de blah. £600. And then additional to that if he has to take the tooth out. And I think, crikey, can you believe it? We're in the wrong job. So of course you do, don't you? You know, it's a bit tight really. So it's probably bango the camera for a bit longer. we've got to sort Nelson's teeth out. I think it's a bit taking advantage, and so we've got to go and speak to them, because because it says that they're going to clean and scale his other teeth, they might not even give us the 250 minus the 65. So we've got to you know, please can you word it different, which I don't think we'll have a problem. We know the vet very well. He's actually he has actually bought quite a bit of David's art, and he's got some commissioned pieces from David that, like, one piece was a complete wall that he did as a surprise, as a wedding anniversary present. So, you know, some years ago he got that. But you know, having said that, there's no mate rates at £600, is there? So yeah, thank goodness that we have the NHS and we don't have to pay, you know, big bills. So I mean, you have all these insurances out, but they always seem to find some sort of loophole, don't they? So they don't have to pay. You know, it's it's a bit of a game now, isn't it? Well, I'm really enjoying this, and I'm liking that we can see glimpses through it. Let's see if I can just make it a bit more jaggedy. We don't want white edge on it, do we? I think. That's it. Just to make it look a bit less uniform. That's it. So please let me know what decorative edging you're putting on your project. Be nice to know what you're doing. We're meeting up somebody that David used to work with. They're here for a few days, so we're meeting up in a pub garden and we're going to have some lunch, so that'll be nice, because we, you know, we were going to meet them for coffee and cakes out on the seafront in an outdoor, you know, in an outdoor space there. Oh, but because it, you know, it sailed it down, so we weren't going to sit outside in the freezing cold and wet. So we rearranged it. The weather was looking not too bad for today. It's coolish, but at least it's sunny, so we'll get wrapped up and we'll be alright. We'll be alright having our fish and chips sat outside. I haven't had fish and chips for ages. I think people think you live near the seaside, you know, you there's nothing like British fish and chips really in the wrappers. You know, you go on the seafront and you get them in your paper wrappers and you put salt and vinegar on it, and yeah, that's nothing better. But yeah, we're in the pub garden. I can't very well say, can you bring it in the paper please? They'd look at us gone out, wouldn't they? Well, I am really liking that. Is there anywhere that's a bit, yeah, I think, let me tie this off and then there's just that little bit that I think needs a bit more down there. Oops. I'll probably see what I can do with these washer flowers as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, we'll put something here. I don't think it'll be many things, but it will just keep that edge down, won't it? We'll probably put a set of 3 in there. Rid of a bit of these stringy bits that are in the way. That's better. Okay. Okay then, so today it's coming on, isn't it? That wool, so that is the front, and then that's what we've done with our fancy edging, with a little bit of cut chenille work on there just to let the underneath cover shine through. So you carry on now and finish off this this hour to yourself, and let me know what you've actually put on your projects. It'd be interesting to hear. Anybody else that's not put any ideas in for the pick jar, please, all suggestions are welcome. Whatever might be out, you know, you might think, oh, I wouldn't do that on a piece of sewing. But, you know, I'm always open to suggestions. So anyway, take care. See you tomorrow or next video. Bye for now.